9.5 FM.
Good afternoon, Bahamas. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. This is a great day to be in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Bahamians, I am so delighted that God made me a Bahamian July the 10th, 1973, and I know many of you out there appreciate this beautiful country that we have called the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I was downtown a couple of days ago. It might have been Monday or Tuesday, and I was delighted to see the large number of tourists that were nearby the House of Assembly and taking pictures of the house, taking pictures of Her Majesty the Queen. And it's a wonderful thing. That building is ancient. It is where the government sits, the Parliament of the government sits, to pass laws, to make laws for the peace, order, and good government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. That's what the Constitution says now, Article 52.1. And it's delighted that you could just go right up to the door, buzz it, and go in. And I've had great response from the people that work at the House of Assembly. I must thank them very much for the information that they give me. When I go there, they have supplied me with very valuable information. And now that I'm coming every day here to the radio station, I need it more now than ever before. So they've been extremely helpful. And I'm very grateful to the members who work in the House of Assembly. See, it's very important, Bahamians, that we get accurate and precise information. And they're one of the agencies of the government. I wish all of them would function like those people who are in the Honorable House of Assembly. That is the staff of the Honorable House of Assembly. And them other fellows, well, that's a different kettle of fish. So we'll deal with that later. But the point is that the staff has been very good to me for years. It didn't just start yesterday. I've been going to them for many years, and they have supported me and given me very vital information that I needed at the time. So I'm very grateful to that, and I'm going to need their assistance even more now as I get deeper into broadcasting in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, because my work has just begun. 50 years when I had to wait for the Bahamian people to wake up, that was preparation time. Right now, after 50 years and 8 months, which we have lost, we've lost 50 years and 8 months as an independent nation because the Bahamian people did not and do not know the Constitution. But that is a problem that has to be resolved. We have to fix that. Now, of course, you know, today we suppose have a nice topic, an interesting topic. Is illegal immigration killing the Bahamas? That is the question I put out to you. I believe it was yesterday. I told you I wanted to discuss that today. We're going to open the lines wide open, 326-0271, 326-0272. 801-2701, I think it is. I got to get used to that third number. But 326-0271, 326-0272. Bahamians, we want you to call in and express your views, because I know that this is going to open up some cans of worms. We need to do that, you know. Some of those worms need to be killed. You're wondering what has happened to your country. What about the government of the Bahamas? Is the government of the Bahamas dealing effectively with illegal immigration? And what is illegal immigration? You have to define it, Bahamians. We have to know what it is. And I know a lot of you are very much interested in what is happening in your country. Your country is very important to you, and it's important to me too. I'm a Bahamian citizen, a true Bahamian citizen. Those peace-loving, wonderful Bahamian people, particularly the average Bahamian, has stood by me for more than half a century since I started out, February 6, 1972. And I've always had a very strong affinity to the average citizen. I always tell you about the woman in Baintown with 5 boys, the man in Fox Hill with 6 daughters. He's still looking for husbands now. You young men out there, please behave yourselves and become responsible citizens of the country. We have too many problems with young men. And sometimes you have to find someone who can help you, who can guide you and assist you in which way you ought to go. Too many are very responsible. They have a great load of children, and the children looking up to daddy, and daddy is behaving very foolishly, using obscene language, saying all kind of profane words, which we do not repeat on the radio. We are constrained by regulations, and I have to obey those regulations. And let me just say, for those who don't know, the regulations are not unconstitutional. It is just that a standard of communication has been set that we have to go by on the radio. This is not a barroom. It is not for people to just say any and everything that comes to their head. So I am constrained. And every time I sit in front of these live microphones, I always remember what my mother tells me. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. And so I exercise the greatest degree of caution and restraint when I am on the airwaves. And even when I'm off air. I tell people I like to bring it to the radio, since I have the live microphones, and to discuss issues that affect the Bahamian people. And you can call in and express your views as well. But now I want you to do more than just that. Since I'm going to be here for some time to come, I am going to ask you that I want you to act on the information that is being presented to you. Having the talk shows are nice. They're good to communicate and express your views, express your ideas, express your suggestions and comments. Now, when you make a suggestion or comment, it may not be right, it may not be wrong. It could be a combination of both. The Constitution allows for it. It didn't say everything has to be right, But I caution people not to purport to bring information that they want to pass off to the Bahamian people, which is not constitutionally sound. Now, that's where I will draw the line. Now, if you came on the radio station or you call in and you say, Professor, these are my personal views on this particular issue, but then I can't question it. The Constitution allows for that to happen. So I'll just say, thank you very much, have a nice day, and I move on. But now if you come on and you didn't say that at the very top of the line, say it at the very top. Before you say anything else, you just say, Professor, these are my personal views. And so I don't get the understanding that you're trying to purport something to be constitutional, because people do that. And I come to find out it's not constitutionally sound. Now I'm going to let it slide, I'm not going to let it slide. I have to even be careful of the guests that I invite on the show, like Mr. Cartwright. He is a very, very good person, a good guest to invite. I will have him again. Now, he is constitutionally sound. Plus, he brings a different perspective than I bring. He comes from a line of political personalities, perhaps on both sides of the fence. And he's well-balanced and well-versed in what he's saying. I was delighted to have him on. And I told Dwayne Hyler, who was on for the first time yesterday, very, very brilliant young man. And he has tremendous understanding of the Constitution. Both of these men told me they were listening to me for a long time. I appreciate that. And I want more of you to listen, because we need more people to understand the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Now let me go on to the subject, because I'll talk till the man come back. The point is illegal immigration killing the Bahamas? Is the government of the Bahamas doing enough? Is Immigration Department doing enough? They told me, I heard it on the news a few times, 261 Haitians were successfully sent back to Haiti by sea. 2 Defense Force vessels went, and there was no incident. They handed them over to the Haitian authorities. And there have been some stories coming out of Haiti which are not good, but the Prime Minister already told the Summit of Americas. We cannot handle the influx of Haitians or other illegal personalities coming in. Some call them migrants. I don't use the word migrants because when you come here illegally, you come up the wrong way. An illegal person, either it's lawful or it's illegal. There's no in between. And unfortunately, too many of them are coming in illegally. One or two may come legally and they overstay their time. I've had some of them do that. And I had to caution some of them because they were in the country illegally. And I told them I can't help them. You've been here 3 years later, they're still in the Bahamas. How we get like that? We're going to have to check these things because we have to know who is in here. Immigration has been falling down. I understand they got 300,000 applications. We can talk about that today too, you know. And those of you who have further information on it, call in and speak to it. Because you know what is 300,000 people applying for what? Let's get a breakdown of the 300,000. That's more than our population. I believe the producer said we have a call on the line. Caller, you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, Professor Thompson.
Yes, sir. How are you? How are you doing?
This is Kendall Hanna from Freeport. How you doing?
Kendall Hanna from Freeport. You know, when you left your number here some time ago, I called you several times.
It's important, it's not cutting you off. It's important for you to call me this time because they violate my rights and everything. And I really need to talk to you, but not on the air. So now I'm going to say this on the air.
Hold on. Don't go too fast, Kendall. Take it slow. Right. Now, I want you, when you finish, I'm going to let you speak. Do not go off the line until the producer gets your name and your number.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So don't hang up. He'll take it from you. After you finish, I'll let you present your points, and then we can go from there. Go ahead, Kendall.
I love you, Professor Thompson. That's the first note.
Yeah, okay.
The second note is on a illegal migrant. Professor, everybody might disagree with me, but the world is underpopulated. It's not overpopulated. The whole world is underpopulated. You understand? So now, all of this, what's going on with illegal immigrants, is all manipulated. It's all choreographed. They doing it. They know they're doing. This like in 1982 when Castro let the Mayalo, I typed on, let the Marietta out and send them to Florida.
Yes.
They had 3,000 something or the Haiti. What's going on, Professor Thompson? The people who rich, who have the billions of dollars, they run Haiti. They run the government. They run the gangs. The reason why that Haitian president retired is not the Haitian people didn't want him, because we're not hearing that. They're not giving us that. CARICOM and the rich people didn't want him there. We don't even know if the Haitian didn't want him there. So they're playing tricks on us. The rich people who run in Haiti, who run in everything, who run the government, that's along with Britain or France or whatever, they control in Haiti. And it can never be no peace because they're making billions and billions of dollars of it. So it's an hallucination, like they're trying to fix it, but it's never going to be fixed because the rich going to get richer and the poor going to get poorer. So now, here I go to the Bahamas, saying we ain't got no room to accommodate them. Here we go to the Bahamas, say we're going to send 150 troops over there. Suicide, genocide. Because let me tell you something. If they fooling us and say they send them people back, see, we don't know that. We hear in the news. Ain't no that locked down. The airport locked down, everything locked down. So I don't understand how they gonna tell us they send the people back without casualty, without war. So they
Kendall,
yes,
Kendall, let me just correct you on something.
Yes, sir.
261 have already been repatriated. They are in Haitian custody.
Let me see that with our own eyes. Oh, that's what they told us. It's dangerous over there. It's shooting over there. So therefore, if the airport can't close and everything, how the boats could go? You have to read between the lines, Professor. They ain't telling us all the truth.
Yeah, but let's take it a little slow now. Don't go too fast.
Okay.
I understand that they went to another port. They didn't land them in Port-au-Prince. They went to another area.
Correct that then. Let the people know where they land. Correct that.
But they did, yeah. They did announce it.
No, but you ain't correct that. You're just correcting it now.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Yes. See, Professor Thompson, I ride a bike in Freeport. I'm the most intelligent guy in Freeport. I'm the brokest. I'm the most disliked. Well, but Jehovah God and the gods them send me here to send this message.
But Kendall, you talk too fast, man.
Yeah, I don't know. That's I hype up. I'm like.
But listen,
like
who's trying to take away your rights in Freeport?
The police department, the judge,
police?
and the prosecutor.
Okay, we'll talk more.
When I tell you the whole thing,
okay,
you would understand.
Don't say any more. Just let that drop.
Me.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, but I just, okay.
I'm moving in Freeport, Professor, and they're coming at me because I'm the light. They see it. I'm a light. Some apologizing now, and some at me. Some at me because I'm so intelligent. I live in the bush, and when I come out, I look like Donald Trump. Clean. They don't understand it, Professor. They don't understand me. But I'm here to share love, and I'm here to share the knowledge. And some ain't gonna want that.
I think the Bahamian people would want something to improve their lives, don't you think so? Or they don't want that?
When you've been trickled down with some money and the evil money and say keep them at bay, boy, they don't want nobody to touch that. And me, okay. I'm shining, and they might do. They think you might think they ain't listening, but they hear it before. They know me. They know me in Freeport. Freeport small. People talk about me. They know who got sense and they know who making sense.
Okay. Yeah. But now, Kendall, please leave your name and number with the producer.
You psychic? Could I call to do that?
Yeah, please do. Don't hang up until you leave it with him now, because I want to. He'll take it.
I want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to do that too, please.
Yeah, Mr. Producer, take his information, and I'll get to him. I can call you as early as depending. The day is Thursday. Kendall, if not today, I'll call you tomorrow. Mr. Producer, make sure I get his name and number, please. He has a number of points. I believe he may not be accurate in everything that he said, but, the show is for people to express themselves, and I will definitely look into his situation. I'm looking to a situation with someone also in Grand Bahama. I cannot divulge what it's all about, but these are two persons who listen to the show. And you're going to find that there will be people throughout the country who need help in one way or the other. And those of us who can help and assist should do so. That's why I told you we want to have these constitutional questions, and we want to award prizes to persons who answer those questions constitutionally. And of course, the week during Easter, we may not be have a show on. Well, that's Good Friday, so the station would not have a show on Good Friday. So we will have to shift for that week to Thursday. Thursday will be open line on Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. So Thursday, the week when we have the Easter holiday, that Thursday, we will have open line on that day. Because Friday, we will not be in. There will be no show that Friday. And then Monday, oh, wow. That's two shows we're going to miss, unless they change the management policy. But that's the way it is. Friday, Good Friday, and Easter Monday, we will not be having shows as it stands now. But he said a number of things, and it is true that the oligarchs in Haiti are in control of the gangs. In fact, they do the bidding of the oligarchs. These are the people who are wealthy, who have money. We had that same problem in the Bahamas, not to the extent like how it is in Haiti. We had the oligarchs controlling every single thing in the Bahamas, so much so that the people thought that when would God open the door for us to do some things? But that happened January the 10th, 1967, when there was a general election. And for the first time, people of color had an opportunity to form a government. January the 14th was the actual day when Sir Lyndon Oscar Pinling went to Government House to set up a government. You had Mr. Alvin Brennan as Speaker. You had Sir Randall Fox as the Labor Minister in the cabinet. And the PLP had 18 seats, so you had a majority of one. and the UPP had the rest of the seats. And so we have a situation where we were able to do some things. Now, how we managed between then until July the 10th, 1973, we were preparing for July the 10th, 1973. I remember when the election was held prior to independence. We were a colony at that time. If any of you know the actual day and time of that election and what significant event happened on that day, I'd like for you to call in. I may make that a constitutional question too, because someone tried to Google it, but Google couldn't even answer it for them. Something very significant occurred in the country, and you need to know what it is. But I probably may put that as a constitutional question to see whether you understand and you know what it's all about. The lines are open, 3260271, 3260272. I know a number of people have concerns like Kendall. He believes that, we're being misled and deceived. And then, of course, we have been misled and deceived for 50 years and 8 months. That's a fact of life. I've proven it. My team members have proven it. And we have to just lay the facts as they are. Now, does that mean we just roll over and die? We just sit back and do nothing? The answer is no. That's why Professor is here in this chair to assist you and help you to be able to do things, to do it the right way, constitutionally. Now that we have these shows, discussion is fine. But Bahamians, you have to extend it beyond the shows. And you have to take the appropriate action that is essential to bring change. You heard the lady who called yesterday, and I think maybe even the day before. People are concerned about the future of this country. They want to see things happen. And people are asking, Professor, what can we do? I'm glad you asked them kind of questions. I don't have my headphones in, but let me put them on while I remember. The thing is, people are asking, what is it we can do? You keep listening to this show, you'll be told constitutionally what you can do, because we don't have to stay the way we are. We have a call on the line. Caller, you're live on air. Go ahead, please.
Professor, one more thing, sir.
Yes, sir.
You know how they manipulate us from the past. They when England gives Ping the rope. They didn't win nothing.
Wait, hold on. What did you just say? I didn't.
When the Queen give when independence and all them, they fight to get independence, right?
Yes.
You know how they manipulate us. They ain't win nothing, They just
wait, hold on. Who didn't win nothing? What you talking about?
Let's listen to my theory.
But see now.
I know.
These are your views. Wait a minute. Hold on now. Hold on. These are your views, right?
I know what happened in history. I know what happened. But listen, can I have my theory? I know what happened. But can I have my theory? So now they passed Lennon pinning this torch. I mean, because the whole ark on the Bahamas, and I mean, we even in the Caribbean, we in the Atlantic. I mean, so we even a part of. We only just go to the meeting, CARICOM and all that there. But so we in a part of the Caribbeans. We already know that. So what I'm saying, they pass the torch, and all we have to, you allowed to do this, you allowed to do that, and that's it. That's how they manipulate us. But they still run things. But now we fighting. Yeah, we win, but we ain't win nothing. Because, Professor, we not independent. So we can't.
Hold on. Stop him. Stop him, producer. Stop him right there. Now, you see, I asked the caller if he wanted to express. See, you must always say at the top of the show when you call, these are my personal views. Now, some things he said that are not true and not accurate. Is he still on the line, Mr. Producer? Just put him on hold. Okay. Bahamians, I have a responsibility as a talk show host to make sure that accurate and precise information is given to the public. You see how hard it is for me to fight this battle? You see why I need your support? He is saying we're not independent. Does he understand what independence means? My mother and father fought in this. My grandparents before them fought in it. My great-grandparents fought in it. And you can tell me the blood, sweat, and the tears that they produce. Come on, Bahamians. What are we saying? You see how we are undermining the supreme law of the land? God knew what he was doing when he had me wait 50 years. I couldn't help it because the people say they didn't know. Now you still have people putting this crap out there, not understanding constitutional law. And I get very upset about that because a lot of you want to know the Constitution, have to be taught the Constitution, and I have a role to play in that. I take that very seriously. The Commonwealth of the Bahamas is an independent, democratic state. It's even more than that, too. But when you have persons, well, he's supposed to be a citizen. Let me give him the benefit of the doubt. But Bahamians are misled and deceived. And so they're saying things that are not accurate and precise. And you say anything contrary to the Constitution, I have to stop you. Because that has been our problem for 50 years and 8 months. And people have gobbled up on that nonsense and foolishness. I have a tough assignment ahead to educate the masses on the Constitution. People are listening. People want to learn. People want to, and I'm going to be doing lectures too, by the way. We're planning to do any number of things to educate the masses on the Constitution. See, this is just one forum what I have here now. But there have to be others, Bahamians. If we continue to strive on misinformation, we will lose another 50 years and 8 months. I don't think we could afford that. Every second from this point onward counts. Bahamians, please take this matter very seriously because there are vultures who want to take this place over. And a lot of you don't even understand that. They're just waiting for the moment for us to snap, and they come right in and take everything from us. Do you know that we are the only nation on the planet, that has had stability in a country, in a nation, from 1729 right on up to today, September of 1729. We don't even reflect on it. And people come here talking all kinds of foolishness. You number 10, you number 3. The negative things, they put us way up at the top. Say you're number 1 or number 2. But other things that they rate to be positive, they put us way down. You're 53 or 33. Bahamians, we got to understand our own history. We have to understand what went on in this country. I was there. I came in on the tail end. So I didn't catch the full brunt of the fury of that regime that my mother and father went through. And my grandparents, even before them, on both sides of my family, went through. They went through some rough times. And I would just close my eyes to that. You got to be crazy. It's because of them and the hard work that others and those along with them did that caused me to be where I am today. Mr. Producer, we have a caller? Oh, okay, all right. Just wanted to be sure. Bahamians, please. I know I'm prepared to work hard, and I can fight, because this is going to be a tough fight. There are persons who do not want the country to move ahead. But from 1729, in spite of all the challenges we've had, the Bahamian people have been successful in transitioning one administration to the next without shedding one single drop of blood. You don't hear that in the international community, but that's a fact. They don't want anything to be said about the Bahamas that's positive. But I'm going to utilize it because it's true. I was so delighted passing the House of Assembly and see all these tourists there. You want to wake up tomorrow morning and find the place is barricaded? Police have to be down there, defense force officers to be down there with big guns? Is that what you want? I was born into, well, let's say my mother and father were ahead of me, but let's say I was born into a nation where there's always been peace and tranquility. They say we are laid back. And we do not like foreigners. It's utter nonsense and foolishness. We just don't like people coming in to steal our things. I'll tell you that. The Bahamas is for Bahamians. Haiti is for Haitians. Cuba for Cubans. The United States for them people over there who won't go there. That's for them. And we aren't interested in populating the country like them other fellows do. When Bahamians will have children, they know what to do. But you want us to take all these strange people with their funny languages, can't speak a word of English, and talk about making them citizens? You got to be joking. We will fight this, and Bahamians join to protect your country, because I'll specifically tell you what we need you to do to help save this place. I like living here, you know. Miles Monroe said, God lives in the Bahamas. He went all over the world to many nations, and he came from Bain Town, and God raised him up. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson. We're going to go to a break. We'll be back after the break.
Express Yourself Live will return right after this.
Great news. Ron's Electric Motors' new location on Cowpen Road.
And Global Radio 99.5FM.com. Express yourself.
We are back. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. This is a great day to be in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I'm finding myself drinking a little bit more water today and it's hot out there. But it's good that we have good, clean drinking water. You know, people around the world don't have that. They have to drink things that are not really the best. But in the Bahamas, we have good quality drinking water, which would help to keep our bodies from being dehydrated. Bahamians, there's so much we have to be grateful for. You got to understand why people want to come here, you know. But God gave them their country. He gave them a space on the planet, and they will not stay where he put them. God gave the Bahamas to the Bahamian people. And I get very disappointed when I hear people make disparaging remarks about our Constitution. The leaders, unfortunately, have done the same thing. So we keep going around in circles over and over and over again. Just like God's word says, ever learning and never coming to the knowledge of the truth. Bahamians, we just can't just be talking day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. No solutions, no problems. I believe we need to have solutions. We can formulate solutions. We can make a government do it. Do you hear what I just said? We can make a government do it. And if they don't do it, there's something we can do about it. So I don't want you people to just be saying out there, oh, there's nothing we could do. And the government just throwing a lot of crap on top of you. And you're just wallowing in it. No, it isn't supposed to be like that. The Constitution puts controls in place how a government ought to function. That's why we're dealing with this issue. Is illegal immigration killing the Bahamas? I heard that the caller said that yesterday on another show, and I said I was supposed to bring in a guest today, but I said, let me just open the lines with that. Is illegal immigration killing the Bahamas? Are we handling these illegal aliens the right way? Are we to be compassionate to them, or should they be compassionate to us? I never heard them say, these illegal aliens ought to be compassionate to Bahamian people for coming in here trying to mess up this place. There's always the talk, you be compassionate to them. What kind of nonsense is this? And they keep coming into our country illegally. That is not good. We have to fight to protect what is ours. That's what we have to do. So we can't just sit back and let people come in. Would you want people to come into your house? Your nice, beautiful home, all those nice furniture you have, beautiful kitchen, everything modern in there. Do you want to just have a flood of people come in, take over your house? Well, our house is the Bahamas. Every inch of it. Our water, our land, our skies. That's the Bahamas. 100,000 square miles. Ain't no one supposed to be here legally because the law doesn't allow for it. But if we're going to sit back and say, or be in cahoots with those who are working illegally, then we are part of the problem. We cannot allow that to happen, Bahamians. You should not be participating in anything that's illegal. I even understand now on these little sloops, they be crowded with people. Have you noticed how many males be on these sloops, these Haitian sloops? Have you ever wondered why there are a large number of Haitian males and just a few Haitian women and a few Haitian children? Sometimes you just have lone males. What's the reason for that, Bahamian? Have you ever thought about that? Every time it happens. Every boat it happens on. Why? Someone has a plan to do something. And so one has to be very careful about the success of the country, how we can protect the country, because there are things we can do. And we need God's divine intervention. See, those who are not caught by the defense force and the police force, God will catch them. You ain't got to worry about them. You know just how to work things out. You just don't see them anymore. But the point is, we have to be responsible citizens in the nation. We ought to stand with the authorities to protect the interests of this country. That's what we ought to be doing. And those of us who know better, see, people like myself, I know better. You to tell the authorities when they're wrong. Do you do that, Bahamians? Do you tell your representative when he's wrong? Or you just tell him, oh, you're doing a good job, when you know he's not doing any good job? He's a lousy. I wanted to use another way, but I'll just leave that word out. He's a lousy representative, Bahamians, and you know it. And you'll find that these political entities will put up personalities who have no interest in serving the people. There was big discussion on the radio today about having well-educated, well-talented people come to serve. Well, we've had quite a number of them. But they're talking about the fellow leaving his plush job in an office to become a member of the House of Assembly. Well, if he doesn't want to serve, what is he coming for? To do what? When Jesus himself said, he that is great among you must be your servant. See, I'm sitting here to serve. Of course, there are some other things that go along with that. But what I'm saying is that you do not have, you should not have, and be obsessed with your own personal aggrandizement to the detriment of the institution you're working for or with, and to the detriment of the country, the Bahamas. Because that's what would happen. Your personal interest supersedes the interest of the Bahamian people. And that's where the problem comes in. That's not good. So you and I have to understand, if we are going to build the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, there has to be some serious sacrificing. And we got some problems, the likes our mothers and fathers never saw. But we have to do something about it. What are you going to do about it? What are we going to do about the fact that people are complaining all the time? Now, I understand the rates are going up for the jitney drivers. So young people like me have to pay $1 now. I would pay 75 cents, but they say now it's gone up to $1. That's 25% increase. I could use a 25% increase on my salary. Then I could pay them the $1. But it went up 25%, Bahamians. So we have to understand that there will be increases more and more. And so what happens, therefore, the $1 you have in your pocket could buy less. Just as simple as that. And I think to the general public it would be $1.25. I think the school children would have either 50 cents or 75 cents. So that is something we need to look at, the increase. Now, the taxis, that's another problem again. I believe you have a call on the line. Caller, you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Yes. Good afternoon, Professor Sidney MacArthur, Walter Thompson, Berenice Johnson, the original. I must give thanks to the Almighty
Hold on.
God through
Put the
Jesus
call on
Christ.
hold. Put her on hold, please. I am not going to allow Berenice Johnson to come up with that kind of salutation on my show. I would like for Berenice Johnson to get right to the point. That's taking up too much of my valuable time. This is live radio, and I want others to have an opportunity to speak. But that salutation, Berenice Johnson, you have to drop that if you're going to call the show. I appreciate you calling, but I will not tolerate that kind of salutation. We're addressing the issue of whether illegal immigration is killing the Bahamas. That's what one caller said yesterday, and the host of the show disagreed with him. You will have people with different points of view. He sees it differently. I have a point of view. No, I'm not supposed to express a point of view. Let me withdraw that. See, I got to catch myself, you know. The host is not supposed to express a point of view. So I just corrected myself. My job is to facilitate views on whether it's true. Now, I can answer constitutionally whether it's true or false. And the hosts don't believe, you know, you got to either be right or wrong, good or evil. Is Berenice still on the line? Bring Berenice up, please. Mr. Producer?
Yes.
Yeah, Berenice, please cut out the salutation and get right to the point.
Can I give thanks to the Almighty God through Jesus Christ of Nazareth and the Holy Spirit enveloping us, please?
Go ahead, Darren.
If I come, once I call in your show, I understand the anger and the frustration of many who probably are sponsoring you. When I come on this show, I come with international sponsors, and that's one of the reasons why I do what I do. However, let me get straight to the point. Reference to national insurance, and let me say, happy birthday for the late father of the nation.
Put Berenice on hold again, please. I told Berenice, and I have nothing against the nice lady. We're discussing, is illegal immigration killing the Bahamas? That's the question. I gave the audience time to think about it because this is a serious matter. Is it constitutionally sound, yes or no? Now, I know there are different views coming from different people on this topic because immigration is our major national problem. Immigration and citizenship. It's a serious problem in this country. Berenice Johnson will be discussing, is illegal immigration killing the Bahamas? Please bring her up again.
Mr. Thompson.
Yes, ma'am.
Why do you think the Prime Minister said that he's not accepting any migrants and everybody is against him, trying to overthrow him?
Someone's against him for not accepting the migrants?
Well, it is said that when they return the migrants to Cap Haitien, they don't want that happen. And you know who are those who are doing it? Because they have accepted monies already. Okay. And they want to make Inagua a refugee point. Okay, and that is why I said the crime, the criminal atrocities that are being investigated are by those same groups who are trying to force this Prime Minister, Philip Edward Brave Davis King's council, who God ushered in for a time such as now. That's why you see I always give that salutation, because this was going on from in the 80s. This was supposed to happen. What Reverend T.G. Morrison said, a cataclysmic attack supposed to happen here. We have 3 million undocumented person or citizens over there in Haiti,
yes, ma'am,
who cannot be given account for identities.
Yes.
And we must stand with this Prime Minister, and all these tactics coming up is out of the expatriates who facilitated and financed the LGBTQFS community.
Yes, ma'am.
I must advise you, because we already investigated. They blocked the numbers. Your number might be free, but they are not getting through to my number. But they cannot do anything about it, because anytime I need to go, I can walk to the U.S. Embassy and I can get all of the financial monies that will be accessed. Because when national insurance, as Mr. Moxie stated in 1984, all of my monies must come. I am standing in the gap for all those people whose monies were stolen by criminal technology devices way back in the 80s. Okay? So that is one of the reasons, and also the artificial intelligence That was happening long time. And that's one of the reasons why I said the electronic imaging of Mr. Ingram, he has a look-alike. And we had to keep on that in Black Village when Mr. Pinling, they had a photo, I don't know if you remember that, saying that he was smoking dope. That was not him. That was his half-brother, Cracker Evans. Okay? So when I come on this airwave, I'm coming with facts. And the PLP shall be returned again because God will reign on the just and the unjust. The FNM could have resolved this matter with my outstanding national insurance file that I took down there. And they refused to call a meeting with former Prime Minister Hubert Alexander Ingram. This is nothing to do with no politics, okay? This is about the humanity and the dignity of every household to have access to financial freedom.
Barry, let me just ask you this, and I have nothing to say about the things you just mentioned. Those are your views, and that's fine. When are we going to see some relief for the masses in this country? What is your observation on that?
As soon as they get that file and take it to PLP headquarters, they know where I live through Hay Street. I'm still in the pilot project. We have all kinds of money to get. Oh, and by the way, let me say blessings to those syndrome, what's the Down syndrome, rock the sock day.
Yes,
Sorry
ma'am.
about that, my darlings. Because they were eugenically experimented on, just like my son.
Yeah, you did
I
say
am
that.
here fighting on over the airwaves. They sabotaged my phone. They cannot do anything about it because I went to the United States Embassy prior to it because I knew what to expect.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? And my phone number, let me give it again, 426-7762. If you are calling long distance, put 1242 in the front of it. I can get the sponsors for this station because the other stations stay hanging up on me, and I don't give up and I don't give in because I serve a risen Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. This is the Lenten season, and thank God, Dame Margaret Pinling, Her Excellency, spoke out spiritually from that tome. It will help all of us. You have a blessed day.
Berenice, you said what your number is again? 426-7762?
1242. 426-7762. Because you have people out there collecting money, you say, on my funding or my whatever it is.
Yes, ma'am.
Fund me. I have not received 1 cent, 1 penny. The Royal Bahamas Police Force, especially those post-1989, they know where I live. I don't have any clothing to go out, okay? Because this is the sacrifice I am making for people in the ghetto, Hay Street East, okay?
Yeah.
Of Market Street.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
Configuration, the folks there know, and the grouping who's trying to overthrow Mr. Davis will not succeed because it's all a distraction.
So let me just ask you another question.
Yes, sir.
Because you brought out some very interesting information that I might wish to look in a little bit further. But these personalities or groups, these are persons within the Bahamas who are trying to derail the Prime Minister and his government? Or these are persons without the country?
Some are right within his office. Some are right within his office, but it will not happen because they are cowards.
You mean to tell me you have persons...
Patriots, and they are working through some right in his office. Okay, we have all the intellectual information and the file. Once he accessed that file, when I went down there, they spoke to me stupidly.
Yes,
this
ma'am.
Heather Maynard, who is the director, or no, she's the legal. And I'm still waiting for a call from her. They treat human beings like dogs down there. That national insurance. And they ought not to say you are old when you're 60. That's where the problem came in, and that came under the Minutes administration.
Yes,
and they could have resolved that for me long time. Okay, from the 2008, I sat in the House of Assembly. Every politician knew. and I respect all of our nation leaders. Okay, we will get the money's access to those who are suffering, especially the autism and every other type of challenge that they were experimented in the Princess Margaret Hospital by expatriates.
But Berenice,
our ministers of health did not know and was not aware the racket was running on.
so now they're aware now? You think they're fully aware to take the necessary action that is essential to bring change?
Yes, they will have to get that file, and I will have to address the congressional hearing, because that is one of the reasons. What you see over in the U.S.,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
must speak to this, what they call an insurrection. It was not an insurrection, and Mr. Trump will get off of that even if he doesn't win. And they have Mr. Joe Robinette Biden blackmail with sweetheart, and that man doesn't. That is not so. They are lying on the man.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I want to get too personal. The man alleged that he apparently, but let's not even go there. President of the United States. We do know with that insurrection, as it was called, she said is not. She may have some information that I don't have, but some people died in that rebellion that occurred in 2000. I think it's the last election was 2001, when he was supposed to come out of office. And he said the election was stolen. Berenice might want to comment that when we have open line on Friday. She can call in and talk to it if she prefer to do that, because that's an open line. That's not strictly constitutional. It's open line. Tomorrow is Friday. That's right. Boy, time really flies, eh? Tomorrow is open line Friday, and you can discuss anything, within reason now. I'm not saying you could say anything or everything, but there are so many problems that we have. We need solutions to problems. And I appreciate what Berenice is trying to do. But, you're going to need the help of the Bahamian people. And whether the government is willing, that remains to be seen. Caller, you're live on air. Go ahead, please. Caller? Caller, you're live on air. Go ahead, please. For those I believe you have lost that caller. Caller, you still there? I think we're going to have to move on because I'm not hearing anything. Just open air. We can't afford to waste time. Callers, when you call in, please be ready when I call you, when the producer gives me the signal, and I said, caller, you're live on air. Go ahead, please. Please be ready to move because we don't want to waste time. Live radio is, it costs money to do these things, and we want to entertain you. But you have to be responsible, and let's get on with it once you call so we can move the show forward. The lines are open 326-0271, 326-0272. And we have a lot of problems in this country. But the topic for the day is illegal immigration killing the Bahamas? I believe we have another caller. Caller, you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Mr. Thompson.
Hey, what's happening?
Radio man. Is illegal immigration killing the Bahamas?
Yes.
Well, we can say in some cases, but then again...
Wait, hold on. You say in some cases?
Yes,
what do you mean by that?
Because when we do the thing that is wrong, when we see things and we see these people billing, and we will not go to authority, and those who in authority working for government, you can tell me, on Cowpen Road, people passing up and down, they see a little shanty town, a building of little houses, them are building up.
Yes.
With stone and wooden stuff. And you can tell me nobody could cry and say anything?
I'm glad you raised that like that.
So we see, nobody could come in my house. If I open the door and they come in my house and I don't do nothing about it, what more do I expect?
Yes.
When all of these land or these people are building on, some must know who own these land, and these people collect rent from these people.
Yes.
So who is causing all that? If these people don't have no way to build on,
They can't build.
they can't build.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. That makes sense.
Look
But
at
I-
Abaco. Look
Yes,
at
sir.
Abaco. They were buying little piece of lot for $5,000, $6,000. It was on TV. These people were buying lot. Mommy, the H woman said, "We buy a lot for $5,000. We buy a lot for $6,000," and they build. I mean, stone house. And you can tell me nobody under the government authority see that these people were building.
But don't you think the government of the Bahamas ought to be aware by now, after 50 years and 8 months, that the people are building illegally? Because see, I can't put up a wall unless I get a permit. But how come they would know if I put up a wall? Not even a house now, not even a shack, just a wall or a piece of wall.
Yes.
And I don't have a permit. They come and tell me I got to knock it down.
Yeah, even if you try.
So how come they know that?
Even how you know how they know that?
Uh-huh.
They know that because some are our same black Bahamian, our neighbors, who don't like us, and if they see us putting on a piece of adding on a little piece of
Yes.
little piece of house on, they go run. Or let me see if he get any permit.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
And they run call the building controller them and stuff like that.
Now you say Bahamians that do that, genuine, godly Christian Bahamians who go to church on Saturday and Sunday, they do them kind of things.
But who you think is doing?
Well, you gotta tell me.
Don't the Bible say we have spiritual wickedness in high places?
Yeah,
There are
that's
people
true.
who can be your enemy. Those only who laugh up at you and talk up at you and get to know wealthy, building something. When I was doing something,
Yes.
just as I stood here today, when I was doing something to my house, there's a man who came from around the corner to check, see if I had a building permit.
Was he an inspector?
He went to my next door neighbor and he told my next door neighbor he's going to check me out to see if I have any any permit. You hear me?
Yes.
He is a Bahamian.
Was he an
just like me.
inspector? Was he an inspector?
No, he was my back neighbor on the next road.
Oh,
But because
okay.
I was on the front road building,
I get you. Yeah.
he come around to see if
To
I
see.
had any
Yeah.
permit.
All right. Okay.
You hear me? I am
Yeah.
telling you, some of these people are so devious, but we can allow all these people to build in Carmichael Road, in Cool Acres, in Abaco, any Lutra, and now here it is. We want to say, oh, we going to break it down. Come on, how we get to this?
Let me ask you a question. Are you sure this is a genuine Bahamian?
Man from Cat Island, and the man was on the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
But
You hear me?
you have had people in the House of Assembly who were not Bahamian. You sure they ain't deceive you?
Is they
To
deceiving?
purport, yeah, to
No,
say
no,
they're
no.
Bahamian?
No.
You know what a genuine Bahamian is, right?
Yes,
You know how they're supposed to behave, right?
you're right.
Okay, all right.
You understand? So in other words, you right there. If you needed something to get on that station where you is and stuff like that, and because they don't like you, what Drexel Gomez said, he said we are marinated in wickedness. If we love you, we will lie for you. If we don't like you, we will lie on
Now
you.
remember now, caller, I have heard comments like that, and there are some people who said that, but those are their personal views. Even the statement about Sir Lyndon Pinling when he talked about the Bahamas, and people always remember the negative comment that he made, but Sir Lyndon made so many positive comments about the Bahamas, which I don't even hear. I got to go and look in the book to find them. But they will ring that one negative comment that he made, and they will remind you about that. And I know negativity travels very far. And so we're having trouble trying to get things resolved because negativity permeates there. Like you said, spiritual wickedness in high places. And I'm not going to disagree with that. But what is it can we do to try to resolve the problems? Go ahead, caller.
Brother Sidney?
Yeah.
2.4 ago. I don't know, I never been to the Haitian church yet, but I believe, not sure, but I don't know if they would have tell their congregation
Just ask the Haitian pastor.
who their members
Yeah,
do
just ask
not
him.
go on nobody's, go back home. You think they can tell them to go back home? You think they can tell them to go back home? You think they can tell them to not go and build on no vacant lot and stuff like that?
And he's a Christian?
Man,
Christians do them kind of thing.
man.
You got to bring me up to date. Christians do them kind of things. They go to church on Saturday and they go to church on Sunday.
Oh, I
Not
see.
them kind of people.
Oh, I see.
And they're genuine Bahamians?
I am saying to you, if you will ever believe you will hear a Haitian pastor tell the Haitian them what come here, run from home and ain't straight, go back home.
But let's ask them.
And it's sermon or whatever.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. You ain't hear them say that yet.
They ain't gonna say that.
Why you think they ain't gonna say it?
Because why? They know the situation, Haiti, and they know well this their brother and sister here. So in other words, they will have them right there. They will have them right inside the church. Even sometimes they be because they may not have nowhere to be. They be even sleep inside the church and all.
Yeah, okay.
You understand? And my last point.
Yeah, okay.
The reason why, there's a whole bunch of food inside this country for Bahamian.
Yeah.
But you know what happened? The food network them, they don't have a system in this country. You get the Bahamas Food Network. You get Mr. Roll. You get Walter Hanchel them. They don't have a system. Most people are getting food from the Food Network, from Hanchel, from Mr. Roll. If they had a system whereby when I come to you, you put me in that system either for the Food Network, I cannot go to Bishop Roll, and I cannot go to Hanchel. Because when they look inside the computer, they'll see my name also where I go to the Food Network. But they can leave on a day and they can go to 3 places. And the people who really, really need the food can't get it because when they go there, ain't no more food.
You have a valid point. You know, when they had all that money they gave out to, what's the name of that family again? Those millions of dollars. During the pandemic. I get 1 ounce of food.
Okay.
And I live in Fort Castle.
Okay.
But because of generosity of a unionist and his wife, who would cook, and I mean the woman could cook good, we've been getting food regularly from them. Regularly. We got nothing from them other people who got, and the man gave them how many million? 50 million?
Okay.
50 million?
Okay.
But this man who is a former trade unionist, and I tell him your wife could cook good. And I always enjoy when he bring that. I'd be looking forward to that. That's a good breakfast or a good lunch for that day. And we need it.
This country just need to
no, but I agree with you.
Clean.
I agree with you. It could be better distributed.
Yeah, it could
so
be,
everybody could get something.
Everybody get something, man.
I agree with you. Yeah, man.
You understand? Everybody get something. And then we wanna need Mr. Roll to come on and say he need food now. Food because why? You got his 4 person maybe living in one house. Maybe the 4 of them going to the Lawrence Road. You can't get 4 person in one house, 4 by.
Yeah,
or they put in box. It got to be controlled. You see, and this country need a clean from the wickedness. This country need a clean up, yeah.
Well, I can disagree with that. We got too much wickedness in this place.
Just need a clean, like you clean the fish.
Yeah.
You can't half clean the fish.
Yes, sir.
And try to fry it, eat it. This country, let me tell you something. Only if God don't be for us, you ain't going no place inside this country. This need a cleaning up. Thank you.
Paul, I agree with you. That was a very good call. I entertained him because, we were talking about illegal immigration. He mentioned a number of factors. You see how many factors are involved when we have illegal immigration in your country? I hear the music in the background. I got to stop because, we're going to a break. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network, 99.5 FM. It's a great day to be in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Even though we got some problems, we can resolve all of them. We'll be back after the break.
Express Yourself Live will return right after this.
When the lights go down, it's time for the Quiet Storm. Quiet Storm.
Participate at 326-0271 or 326-0272. WhatsApp us your concerns on 809-2310. Follow us live on Facebook and Global Radio 99.5FM.com. Express yourself.
We're back. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network, 99.5 FM. The lines are open 326-0271, 326-0272, 801-02. I got to get that right. I still mixed up on that one. 326-0271. Bahamians, please forgive me. I'll get that third number correct. I had it and it was in my head, but I will get that corrected. 326-0271, 326-0272. That last caller made some very valid points, and that's why I entertained him, because now we got to find out what are the solutions to these issues. We're supposed to discuss whether illegal immigration is killing the Bahamas. Is it true or false? There was a discussion on the other day I had with another talk show host on another radio station. And that particular personality said that, it is helping the Bahamas. We have cheap labor. Of course, that opened another can of worms. We're not supposed to exploit labor in the Commonwealth of Bahamas. Mr. Bruce, we have a caller? Not yet. Okay, all right. I thought we had one. But no, we got to ask ourselves, there's a standard, and the host said about things Bahamians don't want to do. Bahamians don't want clean yard. They don't want to do certain jobs. I just have to do them, and I think Bahamians will do them. The point is that, we have a lot of work to do in this country, but we cannot lower the standard of wages. For some people, the job is worth more than just $1 or $2, but the fellow from that place say he'll do it for 50 cents. So you decide I'll hire him, and you can't get no proper permit for him because he came here illegally. And we have Bahamians who do, and some of them are supposed to be Christian people, and Christians are not supposed to be hiring people illegally. And let me just say about the Christian community, I was talking with a particular personality in a particular church, and this particular individual was saying so many things that are totally not constitutionally sound. I could not have a proper conversation with that particular personality because everything the person said about the Constitution, and I tried to correct that particular personality, told him it's completely wrong. Just like I heard the talk show host. And I told him everything you said about the Constitution is false. Every single thing. This is a major problem in this country. The lack of knowledge. God says my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. You can get plenty of that here on this forum. Constitutional knowledge. Because we have to know about illegal immigration in this country and people getting citizenship illegally in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas for money. People selling out the country. We need to have responsible people. And then you also have, as I was made to understand, from a former speaker of the House of Assembly, that many of those who go there, only a tiny percentage, if any at all, know and understand the Constitution. And there are those, and let me say this because I know this to be a fact, this is not an allegation, it's a fact of life. People who have been legally trained and who ought to know constitutional law, they themselves are not acting responsibly. They are giving misinformation to the Bahamian people. Information is not constitutionally sound. It is not accurate. It's not precise. We got the same problem with immigration. We got the same problem with citizenship. I mean, where do we get all this misinformation from? It has to be corrected. If we were to run things according to the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, we would have a better country, better society, better nation. I want to see more people not only knowing the Constitution, but actually living the Constitution. There's a thing that says, one of the principles that we ought to be living by, a national commitment to self-discipline. Now, let me go to the individual person first, because there's an incident that occurred in my area where these males, I don't call them men, they're males, grown males, adult males. I mean, just using all kind of profanity and bad language, saying all kind of nasty and negative things. Drinking liquor too now. When liquor gets in their head, they say all kind of crappy things. And that happened last night. And I'm going to say it here on this radio station because I want those men to realize we have senior members in our community. The community where I live, Fort Castle. They're trying to sleep, and these fellas all the way up. The police did come, They came twice, the gentleman told me. And after they'd gone, they're just making more noise, disturbing the peace. What kind of nonsense is this? What kind of example are these males? They say there's men, They think there's man. Well, fine. They just got the male anatomy. And these were not foreign males. Let me make that clear. These are Bahamian males. And we have to see, the man tells me in Vauxhall he's looking for some sons-in-law for his 6 daughters. Can't find them. Now we get mixed up like that. The point is, our males have to become responsible citizens in their community. They have a dray load of children. Mix up with this one, mix up with that one. And then the children looking to daddy for guidance, and daddy can't give them no guidance. Looking to mommy. And the females, some of them carry on very bad. Very, very bad. And then you have others coming in from outside the community, carrying on bad. That's not good for the community. That's not good for the nation. The Constitution talks about a national commitment to self-discipline. You have to discipline yourself. That means you have to know how to behave. They must be not behaving properly. I could never tell my mother and my father that they were wrong on anything. Did you hear what I just said? I could never tell mommy and daddy that they were wrong on anything. I could never tell my aunt or my uncle that they were wrong on anything. Just was not tolerated. The same thing in school. You go to school to learn, not to tell the teacher whether they're right or wrong. That was not tolerated. But now today, the parents are acting out of control. The children are acting out of control. That's what they see the parents do. That's why we have such a serious problem in our country with discipline. Self-discipline will lead to national commitment for discipline. But we have too many males out of control, drinking and talking and carrying on very bad. I experienced that last night. And I was not pleased with that at all. We have to do better. Bahamian males, we have to do better. We cannot keep... You're supposed to be more mature, but I don't see the maturity. Where is it? And the children looking up to daddy, looking up to mommy. And like I said, these were Bahamian males, not them other fellas. See, I know the difference, Now, of course, we have some issues with that other crew as well. But last night, the Bahamian males, out of line, out of control. We have to do better than that. You're not setting a proper example for your children. You're not setting a proper example for the community. You're disturbing the peace. You are not allowing the senior members of that community to have a good night's rest. You're disturbing the peace. You're making noise, drinking liquor and breaking bottles and doing all kinds of nonsense. Then you bring it out in the street. You make the police work even harder. And they're stretched out. And I was happy that they're on the move. So I want to comment positively on the police. Now, there's some things they got to work on. But I think they're trying. But you and I have to help them to improve the quality of our behavior in these communities. The police can't be everywhere, that's true, but we who live there, you in your community, you need to be an example for the people. That's what you're supposed to do. I get on to that. Because all of that leads to others who come there. to behave just like you? Why is it so hard not to copy good behavior? Why is it so easy for us to copy negative behavior, negative thoughts, and people talking negatively about one another? Why do we behave like that? Why can't we speak something positive? Can we look for positive things that are happening in the community? Very little, if any. But we could change that from today by improving our own personal behavior. We can do better. I grew up in an environment where there was always hardcore discipline. My mother and father didn't tolerate any crap from us. They were strong disciplinarians. We need more parents like that today. They themselves were of good behavior. Very good behavior. And they had 12 pigeons to deal with. Huh? And they were always careful the way their pigeons were. They don't allow us to go on the road and not be properly supervised. But what happened today? What happened to the parents today? Come on, Bahamians, we got to wake up, man. The country is falling apart because we are falling down. We are not disciplining ourselves, and we're not disciplining our children. That's the problem. That's a major national problem, the lack of self-discipline. So we can't have a national commitment to self-discipline because you yourself is an undisciplined person. Look how they keep cutting one another off in the streets. My sister sees that all the time. She's one of those driving instructors. She knows all these things. But the point is that, you know, why we have to behave like this? Why? You need to ask yourself that the line's open, 3260271, 3260272. And Bahamians, we have to do better. It is wrong. We have a call, Mr. Producer? I'm not sure. We have. Okay, all right. I just wanted to be clear. But no, Bahamians, the lines are open, so you can make your call. Remember now we're supposed to be talking about, is illegal immigration killing the Bahamas? We have some very serious problems with illegal immigrants. I use the word immigrants. Aliens, illegal aliens. I prefer to use the word alien. Well, people use the word immigrant. I don't want to use that word. That was a slip of the tongue right there and then. But the point is, these persons who come here illegally create problems. If you are a visitor to come to the Bahamas, you come the right way. Because I told you some people came to me to have some legal work done, and when I looked at them, I said, well, what you doing in here? You should have been gone 2 years ago, 3 years ago. 3 years later, they still here. You any crap like that? Now we got to fix that. When it's time for your trip to be over and you're supposed to leave the day you are supposed to leave when your visit is over. And we should not in any manner, shape, or form encourage people to stay in the land illegally. That's why I asked the caller who called in whether these Christian people who go to church on Saturday and Sunday, you think they just participate in them kind of foolishness? By having people illegally, harboring people illegally in the country? Do the Haitian pastors do that? They hide these illegal Haitians in their churches? Because you say the police don't raid the church, right? Well, you see, we have respect for certain things. And then you can't have the fellas hiding dope in the church. You know, that can't be right. You can't have them hiding illegal aliens in the church. When it is found, they got to be flushed out. And you can't have them hiding illegal guns in the church. I mean, what kind of foolishness is this? I understand now, it has been reported to me, that the fellas toting all kinds of things with them. when they come on these sloops. All kind of things they find. All kind of ammunition and drugs and human smuggling. You see how this thing spiral out of control? And then we are supposed to be humane. The people who put their own lives at risk, jumping on these rickety boats. And some of them fall right into the water and drown. It's a boat. You see how plenty of people hikes upon those boats? Limited space. They fall off in the middle of the ocean. That's it. You don't see them anymore. But is illegal immigrants or illegal persons, is illegal immigration killing the Bahamas? That's the question we want to answer today. Is it true or false? Is it happening at all? Or is it just a figmentation of the mind? Because they say, we are fearful. We have this phobia about people. You hear any nonsense like that? See, God gave every single one their own nation. He set the bounds for the nation. That's why he gave us the Bahamas. He gave Jamaica for them Jamaicans, Cuba for them Cubans, United States for them people in the United States. Now we could visit there legally, of course. You don't go illegally. How many Bahamians go to Haiti? I understand some do. I'm not particularly interested in going there. Not at this time. It may not be safe. But they said they want a Haitian-led solution. Well, that's fine. We had from 1804 to do it. How come it hasn't been done yet? And I also understand that these gang members, one professor at British Columbia University doesn't believe they're gangs, say they want to be involved with the talks to elect a new president. I don't know how you could sit around a table with gangsters who commit armed robbery, who commit raping women and children in the street, and trafficking in human traffic, in guns, in drugs. And you have them kind of people sit around the table with you. Is that the way it's supposed to be? How can you ask such persons with such twisted minds to help straighten out the nation when they themselves are being paid by certain personalities to do certain things? How they can work? But you got to repent, as the call himself said. There has to be a repentant attitude, a repentant spirit. Are they ready to do that? Repent means you got to change. You go in east, you go west. You go in north, you go south. You change what you're doing. Completely, totally change. Some things you used to do in the past, you don't do that anymore. You put that bad habit down, you put that bad behavior down, and you move on. So we got to help one another. We got to assist one another. That's very, very important. We're going to be back after the break. We're going to break. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson. We'll be back after the break. But the thing is, Bahamians, we got to make some decisions. We got to help the government of the Bahamas, who seem to be lost on this illegal immigration issue, because it seems to me, from the information coming my way, that the leaders are more concerned about what's happening in these Botswana and other countries in on the African continent, and they're making all of these agreements, signing arrangements with these entities, and many of these African nations are struggling with democracy. See, I'm going to look at all the political history of Botswana. I don't know what it is yet, but I want to know whether they had stability in that place. It's a landlocked territory, I am informed by. And Bahamians, we have to know. Because, see, in the Bahamas, we have it from 1729, September of 1729, right on up to the day. Peaceful transition. Has that happened in Botswana? If anyone out there knows, please call into the show and tell us. I know Sudan, oh, they got all kinds of problems over there. They broke up the place. That's an African nation. But Bahamians, you see, this is important for us to know and understand. Now, there's nothing wrong with having relationships with people, but if they got instability, that's a serious issue to think about. Do we want to keep lining up ourselves with people who just like to fight and broke up the place when they get vexed? See, there's a marked difference between the Bahamas and many of its Caribbean neighbors. And so we have to be very careful how we handle our national affairs. Now, some people are looking just for personal advancement. And then another thing, are we benefiting? What are the benefits from having a relationship with Botswana? What are the benefits to the Bahamian people for having a relationship with Sudan? I tell you, that's a breakup country, you know. All kind of foolishness they're doing over there. They kill people. Burn the place down. People got to run for their lives. And they go and scattered into neighboring, like Chad and all them other neighboring countries. Well, how we get mixed up like this? Bahamians, these are serious. See, they tell you a part of the story, but I have to get that information. I got to look at the political history. I know Sudan is terrible. Botswana, that's one of the countries the prime minister just went the other day, took a large delegation over there. They say the trip cost $20,000 apiece for each person. That's a costly plane ride just to get and, you know, come back round trip. I guess it is. I hope it's round trip. I hope it ain't 20,000 one way. But nevertheless, 20,000 per person for that trip all the way to Botswana. Now, you can make a telephone call, you know. And you got all this modern technology. So why is the government still having all of these trips all over the place? And do we understand what are the benefits? What is he bringing back to the Bahamian people? And then not only him, now you got some other fellows make trips too. What benefits come to the Bahamian people? I already told you. You see how broke up these communities are right in Fort Wingastle, and in Baintown, and in Engliston, and in Fox Hill, rundown areas. And we're right under the nose of the national government. You see all them big holes in the road, my sister got to keep ducking, trying to get around those holes, and then boom, you fall right in. The Ministry of Works doesn't pay for damages to your vehicle, but the roads are bad. And we had the road improvement program. I would have thought these roads have been built strong enough to last for 50 years. But we don't seem to do that. We put this cheap, flimsy material where less than 5 years down the road, you got to go patch it again. That doesn't make any sense. We should have roads that could last at least 20, 25 years. At the minimum, 50 years at the most. Then you go back and repave it 50 years later. So why is it that right on the island of New Providence, street lighting, that's a major problem. We see where certain businesses have to light up the street, and where they are lighting up the street, you don't see no street lights on. How come? We're waiting for them, the business person, to put their lights on, so BPL, as it is now, cut off their light, and there's no light there. The point is that we have serious problems in our country. And we have to do something about them. And illegal immigration is just one out of many. So are we handling it properly? Is illegal immigration killing the Bahamas? Please call and let us hear from you. 801-2701. 326-0271. 326-0272. We have to find out, Bahamians. We should not be sitting in silence and talking in little circles, as quite a lot of you do. They don't want their voice to be heard. But Bahamians, if you stay in silence, we're going to leave ourselves in serious trouble. That's what's going to happen. It takes the collective will of a people for change to occur. And someone told me today that some people just want to sit back and take the benefits while others go out and get the job done. Once I could get 51%, 52%, I'll work with that. I want more, though. And you'll see change around here. But you have to be motivated to do so. You have to love the Bahamas. If you really love your country, then you are going to do something to protect the interests of your family, the interests of your country. But if you sit back and do nothing, the day will come, Bahamians, when you'll find the Constitution has been suspended. That is something you must never, ever let happen. You will rue the day. You may never get it back. It has happened in Sudan. And people are paying a heavy, heavy price. It happened in the Gaza Strip and other places around the world. Look at the fake they had in Moscow. The Russian president say he got elected by an extremely high percentage. It's a fraudulent election. You see how many countries around the world experimenting with something that we had for almost 300 years since the House of Assembly was set up? And they didn't even have it for a day, or for a month, or for a year, or for 5 years. And these are big nations. And yet we in the Bahamas, only because of God, and nothing to do with no political party, so don't fool yourself with that. We have some praying people who the Lord has given us favor and telling us to repent. God is not like man. If God was like man, all of us would have been dead a long time. But he is not willing that any should perish. Now, you keep doing foolishness, you're going to have to die. It's just that simple. Just what to do to get you out of the way. But we are a nation under God, dedicated to the Word of God. We're a nation that must do what is right. As the late Dr. Miles Monroe told the legislators, bring your Holy Bible to the House and make no law that is contrary to the Holy Bible. Did they follow his advice? Well, let's look at the record and see if they did. And you'll be able to determine whether they followed his advice or not. Because of a sound advice, whether they did or not, we can follow it today. Because you have to be involved in strengthening the institutions in this country. So your participation is very important. Don't underestimate it and say, oh, them people over there can do it. That's not going to work that way. We have to get serious about this illegal immigration problem in our country. Lack of knowledge, lack of understanding, as most of our citizens have. Lack of understanding, as most of our parliamentarians have. They're also politicians. But the point is, what are we going to do about it, Bahamians? You have to do something. And you know the Constitution tells you exactly what you need to do. The answer is right there. You say, Professor, where is it? Huh? You keep listening to this show, and you look at all that information that's out there on the Global Facebook page. And you can check the evidence for yourself. Is it right? Is it wrong? Is it good? Is it evil? You have to know. And the Bahamian people need to know their Constitution more now than ever before, because we're going to have some very serious problems that are going to pop up in front of our faces. And you're going to know when those problems. See, our mothers and fathers didn't face that. What they faced in their time was for their time. So now, since we wasted 50 years and 8 months, that's water under the bridge now. There's nothing you could do about that. But you could start today. Today's the 21st. I believe today's my second oldest brother's birthday. I got to call him. In fact, my sisters mentioned it to me. I think I have got to call him tonight. Now, see, when we just talk too long. And it's not that I don't want to talk to him, but I don't see him as often as I used to. I got 5 brothers. I'm smack in the midst of all of them. 3 before me and 2 after me. That's how Mommy and Daddy set it up. Or God set it up like that. Let's put it that way. I'm the 4th one in line. And then 2 others behind. My baby brother, we are very tight. Extremely tight. I ain't like that with all the others, but brothers will be brothers and they have their views, and I appreciate those that are above me. You got to have some elders, We need some elders around this place. And notice with the election, by the way, talking about elders, you got 2, what the way they set, let me just use a different way because I don't know how to pronounce that. Elderly men running, because I understand the 2 of them are confirmed for their parties, Mr. Biden and Mr. Trump. They're confirmed as the nominees to run in the election later this year in November. These are 2 elderly men. And they say that's the bastion of democracy over there. And some of you in this country want to push aside senior people and say, you older people, get on the side and let these young people take over. And they're not as young as I am. That's the problem. Senior members in the society have a meaningful contribution to make. They have a role to play. Young people have a role to play too. But you don't discard one and then pick up the next one. You don't do foolishness like that. There must be a blending of personalities in this country for change to occur. So it's very important that we do that. The lines are open, 801-0271. I think I got it right, Mr. Producer. 801-0271. See, I got to repeat these things. The other two, I know them. 326-0271, 326-0272. Bahamians, it takes a blending. You see how many young people disappearing, particularly the males? So you got to have young people like myself around. Because we have a contribution to make to nation building. It doesn't stop these younger ones from doing, but there's too much foolishness and nonsense going on in this place. And then people are not correcting themselves. The hardest thing for a human being to do is to admit error and change. That's a real problem in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. You heard the government admit to anything wrong they did? Even when the fellow was violating the Constitution, he said he ain't do nothing wrong. The immigration board say they ain't do nothing wrong. Any nonsense like that. But that's what they say. I ain't do nothing wrong. Didn't a former minister of youth said she did nothing wrong? What do you mean you ain't do nothing wrong? You're flesh and blood, skin and bone. You're a mortal human being. You can talk nonsense, but you did nothing wrong. We are all subject to making mistakes, Bahamians, including Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson. Now, I ain't gonna make nothing to come into the Constitution. I can tell you that one. I got that one on lock. And I will not give out false information to mislead the Bahamian people. And I was waiting 50 years for them to wake up. You got to be silly if you think like that. And for 50 years and 8 months, we've lost it. So we got to get serious about nation building. And the Constitution is your salvation document to the same problem that we're supposed to be discussing today. Is illegal immigration killing the Bahamas? Yes, it is. But the host of the outer states say, it ain't so. I don't know what world he's living in. When you have the majority of your people suffering in your country, something's wrong with that. And only a few benefiting. You had a caller who called and say about wickedness in high places. Yes, there is wickedness in high places. We have to repent, Bahamians. You can't keep living like this, doing nonsense and foolishness. You have to admit, and you pray to God. God is willing to forgive. He said he will abundantly pardon. But some of y'all don't want no pardon. So you know what you're going to have to do it, Chewy? I can let you think about that one. But God has to take decisive action against you because you don't want change. You want to run around doing lots of foolishness and nonsense and expect people to accept you. It can't go that way. So when you hear Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson talking about the Constitution, I want to be 100% accurate and precise. I'll not settle for anything less than that. That's why I have my people to help me with this thing. It's not a one-man affair. It could never be. It takes the collective will of a people to bring change. Article 24.1. That's what we have. So what are you going to do about it? We can't just say it and not do it, not act on it. You're not sure how to organize yourself, just call me. You call the station, leave your number, or you could call me, 465-5786, 325-8652, because this is very, very important. If you're not constitutionally organized, you're not constitutionally sound, you will fail. It's just as simple as that. Now, I hear the music. Man, say I got about 3 minutes. I got probably less than that now. But Bahamians, let me say this in closing. We must do better. Now, tomorrow is open line. You can talk anything tomorrow. I'll be here again. And I'm glad to be here to assist and help the Bahamian people because we got plenty work to do. Do not forget those prizes now for the show. Hopefully we'll have a question for tomorrow. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. Have a pleasant evening.